Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about osteoarthritis of the knee joint. So myself Dr. Sneha Bhatia, MPT in Orthopedics and Sports Rehabilitation, in charge principal at Leeds Srimati S. G. Patel Institute of Physiotherapy. So before I start with my lecture, I would like to request my audience who have yet not subscribed to my channel to please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the next video. So OA or osteoarthritis is the most common form of arthritis and the most common joint disease. Most of the people who have OA are older than age of 45 years. Wear and tear of joints as one ages. So what is osteoarthritis? Osteoarthritis is said to be wear and tear of the joints as the person ages. Women are more commonly affected than the men. And OA most often occurs at the end of the fingers, thumbs, neck, lower back, knees and hip joints. So almost all the joints of the body can get affected by the osteoarthritis, but these joints are more commonly affected by the osteoarthritis. So the repair mechanism of tissue absorption and synthesis get out of balance and result in osteophyte formation and causes bone spurs and bone cyst. So what happens in the osteoarthritis is there is wear and tear of the bone, so the cartilages will be worn out, so there will be formation of the bone spurs. As you can see in the picture, we can see there is formation of the bone spur and as well as we can see the worn out cartilages. So most commonly affected joints by osteoarthritis are hip joint, knees, feet, spine, hands, that is mainly the interphalangeal joints are more commonly affected compared to compared to other joints of the hand. So there are mainly two types of OA, that is primary OA and secondary OA. So mainly the osteoarthritis is divided into two types, that is the primary osteoarthritis and the secondary osteoarthritis. So primary osteoarthritis is more common with the old age population. So what we are seeing because of aging and wear and tear of the joint, that is the primary osteoarthritis, and it is more commonly seen in the hip joint as well as the knee joint. So people who are of old age, they will have hip and knee joint osteoarthritis. The second type of the osteoarthritis, that is the secondary osteoarthritis, in that there will be some underlying pathology. So there can be some history of trauma like ACL tear or MCL tear or any ligament injury or any other disease. So after this underlying pathology, that is the primary disease, later on the patient will develop the OA. So in the secondary osteoarthritis, there will be underlying pathology following to which there will be osteoarthritic changes. So please remember, these are the basic two types of osteoarthritis. So causes of the secondary osteoarthritis of the hip joint: avascular necrosis can cause hip joint OA, idiopathic reasons can cause it, post-traumatic, that is the fracture of the femoral neck, alcoholism, postpartum osteonecrosis, chronic liver failure, patient on steroid, patient on dialysis, sickle cell anemia. These all condition can cause secondary OA. Even coxa vara, congenital dislocation of hip, that is CDH, old septic arthritis of the hip joint, malunited fractures and fractures of the acetabulum. Any fracture, if the patient is having fracture in the young age, then later on when the patient ages, there are chances that he will develop secondary OA of the hip joint. So pathology, coming to the pathology of the OA, as we can see in this picture, there will be bones. There are the articulating bones for the knee joint are the femur and the tibia. So joint capsule is there and synovial fluid is there in each and every joint. So synovial fluid leaks into cracks which can form in the bone surface when this replacement cartilage wears away. This causes further damage and in some cases can lead to cyst in the bone or other deformities. So there will be some osteoarthritic changes which is occurring in the knee joint, which will lead to osteoarthritis of the joint. So as you can see in the picture, the comparison between the normal knee joint and the osteoarthritic knee joint. So on the left hand side you can see normally we have the joint capsule, synovial membrane, articular cartilage, joint cavity and bones that are forming the joint. On the right hand side of the picture we can see osteoarthritic changes. So first change, that is the subchondral bone cyst formation. The joint capsule of the joint will be thickened. Inflammation of the synovitis membrane will be there, so there will be inflammation of the synovial membrane. Early degeneration of the articular cartilage will be there. Cartilage cap of osteophyte, so there will be osteophyte formation. The bone will also have osteophyte formation. Fibrillated cartilage will be there. There will be presence of fibrillation in the joint and altered bone turnover. So there will be sclerosis, which is very evident on the radiograph or X-ray. So sclerotic bone changes also can be visible on the X-ray. So pathology of the OA, first there will be depletion of the proteoglycans, which will lead to fibrillation of the joint. Then fibrillation of the cartilage, that will further lead to grinding of the cartilage. It will lead to rubbing of the bone. So rubbing of the bone, when the two bones or the two articular surfaces are getting rubbed against each other, it will give rise to hypertrophy, and following that there will be subchondral cyst formation and sclerotic changes will be there. So bone will go for sclerosis. Next there will be synovial inflammation and deformity and stiffness can be present. So because of synovial inflammation and all these pathological changes that is taking place in the knee joint, the knee joint will go for deformity and stiffness will be there. So deformity can be either genu-varum deformity or genu-valgus deformity. Varum deformity is most commonly seen in case of OA of the knee joint. Valgus deformity is also seen, but it is less common. So pathology, OA is a disease that affects all of the weight bearing components of the joint, that is the articular cartilage, the menisci and the bone. As we can see in the picture, there is eroding cartilage, bone spur formation is there. We can see on the lateral aspect of the tibia as well as femur there is bone spur formation. The bone will be exposed, underlying bone will be exposed because of the wear and tear that is taking place, and eroding meniscus also we can see. Clinical features, hip joint is commonly affected in a population with western living habits. So in the western world we can see that the hip joint is most commonly affected by the osteoarthritis, and knee is involved more commonly in a population with Asian living habits, the habit of squatting and sitting cross leg. So depending on the population and their daily activities and which kind of ADL they are more commonly involved with, depending on that they will develop either OA of hip joint or OA of knee joint. So clinical features, first there will be pain on starting an activity and after a period of rest. So when the patients with osteoarthritic changes, if they are going to start any activity, they will feel the pain, and even after some period of rest, when they want to again do the activity, they will feel the pain. Crepitus can be heard from the joint. Swelling will be there, but swelling is a late feature in the OA and is due to effusion caused by inflammation of the synovial tissues. Stiffness will be there. Capsular contracture and incongruity of the joint surface causes stiffness. So more commonly the patient with the OA of the knee, they will complain that after sitting for half an hour or after lying down, when they again want to do the activities, they will feel the stiffness of the joint. Locking will be there, and locking results from the loose bodies and frayed menisci. Examination, when we are examining the patient with the OA, there are certain features which will be more prominent. So the first one is the tenderness on the joint line. On the knee joint line, the patient who are having OA of the knee, they will have tenderness over the joint line. Crepitus on moving the joint. So when we ask the patient to do flexion and extension movement of the knee joint, crepitus will be heard. Irregular and enlarged looking joint due to formation of the peripheral osteophytes. So compared to a normal healthy knee joint, if we observe the knees of the patient who are having osteoarthritic changes, their joints will look irregular and it will be enlarged. Deformity will be there, varus of the knee, and flexion and adduction and external rotation of the hip can be seen. So as I have already told you that varus deformity of the knee is most commonly seen in the patient with osteoarthritis of the knee joint. Effusion can be seen, but it is rare and transient. Terminal limitation of the joint movement will be there. So if the joint movement for the knee joint, if we say it is flexion and extension of the knee joint, then the end range of motion of the flexion as well as extension will be limited in case of osteoarthritis of the knee joint. Subluxation detected on ligament testing. So subluxation also can be there. Wasting of the quadriceps femoris muscle. So the patient who are having osteoarthritis of the knee joint, they will have muscle weakness in the quadriceps muscle. So non-modifiable risk factors. So there are certain risk factors which predispose the patient to develop the OA. So the non-modifiable means we cannot modify this kind of factors. These factors are, first is the family history of the disease. So if somebody in the family is having OA, then more chances that the patient will also develop OA of the knee joint. Increasing age. So as the patient increases, the chances of getting osteoarthritic changes in the joint is more common. Being female. So osteoarthritis of the knee joint is more commonly seen in women compared to men. Modifiable risk factors, that means the risk factors which we can modify. Overuse of the joint, major injury, overweight means if the patient, the orthopedician normally will advise the patient to lose some amount of weight. So if the patient is having overweight, then more chances are there that he will go for osteoarthritic changes in the knee joint. But if the patient does regular exercises and following a proper diet and reducing the weight, then the chances can be reduced. Muscle weakness is there, then also we can do progressive resistance exercises and increase the muscle strength. So again muscle weakness becomes a modifiable risk factor for OA. Investigation. What are the investigation that we have to do to find out whether the patient is having OA or not? So diagnosis of the osteoarthritis is mainly radiological. So mainly we are taking the X-ray, and from the X-ray we are determining whether the patient has OA or not. So what are the features which we are able to see on the X-ray or the radiograph? So first feature is there will be narrowing of the joint space. So medial compartment of tibiofemoral joint of the knee. So mainly medial compartment of the knee joint is more commonly affected due to OA compared to the lateral compartment. So on the X-ray we can see that the medial compartment side is having narrowing of the joint space. Subchondral sclerosis will be there, that is the dense bone under the articular surface. Subchondral cyst formation will be there, osteophyte formation we can see, loose bodies we can see, and deformity we can see on the X-ray. So this is the picture showing the Kellgren-Lawrence classification for classifying the osteoarthritis of the knee joint. According to the Kellgren-Lawrence classification, the OA is classified into 4 grades. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. So in the stage 1, clinical symptoms of the patient will be minimal, and on X-ray appearance it will be nil or minimal changes will be seen in case of stage 1. In case of stage 2, clinical symptoms will be mild, and X-ray appearance we can see decreased joint space. In stage 3 OA we can see moderate amount of clinical symptoms, and on X-ray we can see osteophyte formation and in stage 4 we can see severe clinical symptoms and malalignment can be also visible. So on the top picture we can see the first X-ray showing the acute changes. In the second picture we can see the OA grade 1. The third picture is showing the OA grade 2. The fourth picture is showing the grade 3 OA, and the last picture shows the grade 4 osteoarthritis of the knee joint. So this is the flow chart explaining about the various changes that is taking place in the osteoarthritic knee joint. So in OA, wear and tear over time erodes the hyaline cartilage. So there will be decreased cartilage between the two bones. So that will lead to joint space narrowing. So we can see in the picture that there is joint space narrowing. So again in OA there will be increased bone to bone contact. So synovial fluid under pressure is forced into defects in the articular bone, and inflammation induce imbalance between the osteoclast and osteoblast activity. So there will be imbalance between the osteoclast and the osteoblast activity. So that will further lead to bone resorption. It occurs at some subchondral areas, and compensatory bone deposition occurs at other subchondral areas. So there will be osteophyte formation and there will be subchondral sclerosis. So osteophytes are the abnormal bone deposits or spurs surrounding the joint space, and subchondral sclerosis, it is the thickening of the bone directly under the areas of bone to bone contact. And what is the subchondral cyst? It is the pockets of liquid under the remains of the hyaline cartilage. So as we can see in this X-ray, there is joint space narrowing, subchondral cyst formation we can see, subchondral sclerosis we can see, and osteophyte formation is also visible in this X-ray. So OA radiographic changes. Asymmetrical joint space narrowing will be there, periarticular sclerosis will be there, osteophyte formation is seen on the X-ray, and subchondral bone cysts are visible. So this is the arthroscopy showing the features of OA of the knee joint. So in the first picture we can see arthroscopy allows earlier diagnosis by demonstrating the more subtle cartilage changes that are not visible on the X-ray. In the second picture we can see normal articular cartilage, degenerated cartilage with the exposed subchondral bone. So arthroscopy can also reveal about the osteoarthritic changes of the knee joint. So OA management, coming to the management of the osteoarthritis. OA is a condition which progresses slowly over a period of many years and it cannot be cured completely. So treatment is directed at decreasing the symptoms of the condition and slowing the progress of the condition. So what are the functional treatment goals? We have to limit the pain, increase the range of motion, and increase the muscle strength. So goals of the rehabilitation will be educate the patient about the disease and management. We have to improve the function, control the pain, alter the disease process and its consequences. So management and treatment of OA, pharmacological, we have to use acetaminophen, NSAIDs can be given, tramadol can be given, opioids can be given. So painkiller drugs can be given to the patient. Topical administration can be done, NSAIDs also can be given. Intra-articular injection of the corticosteroids and hyaluronic acid also can be given for the treatment of OA. Non-pharmacological treatment option, we have to educate the patient about the disease process. Self-management programs, the patient can enroll in such programs. Weight loss advice we have to give to the patient if the patient is having obesity or is overweight. Physiotherapy and occupational therapy can be given to the patient. Range of motion exercises the patient should do regularly. Muscle strengthening exercises also should be done by the patient. Assistive devices can be given to the patient. So if the patient is having pain on walking and gait is affected, then we can prescribe any cane or sticks to walk. So that will reduce the pain of the patient. Patellar taping can be done. Appropriate footwear should be given. Lateral wedge insoles can be given. Bracing also can be done for the knee joint. Joint protection and energy conservation technique should be used. So surgical treatment of the osteoarthritis of the knee joint, mainly there are 4 types of orthopedic surgical procedure that are available. One is osteotomy, second is the joint replacement surgery, that is also called as TKR or total knee replacement. Then we have the arthroscopic procedures and we have the joint debridement procedures. So this is the picture showing the osteotomy. High tibial osteotomy is more commonly done in the patient who are having osteoarthritis of knee joints. So if the patient is going for high tibial osteotomy, that will reduce the pain and the symptoms that are felt by the patient. So next is the most commonly performed surgical procedure, that is the TKR or the total knee replacement or total knee arthroscopy. So we can see in the picture, the right hand side, the components of the artificial components for the TKR are shown. So femoral component, plastic spacer, tibial tray and patella button. These are the artificial component which will be replacing the original degenerated articular surfaces. So what happens in the TKR surgery is the surgeon will remove the degenerated part of the knee joint and it will be replaced by these artificial components. So this is the X-ray showing the TKR. So after the surgery it will look like this. On X-ray we can see the femoral component as well as the tibial component. So thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed watching this video, then please subscribe to my channel, share this channel with your friends and please press the bell icon to get notified for the next video. Thank you.